Folks, we welcome you back inside the ballroom here on the second floor of the Hilton in Uptown Charlotte. We welcome Georgia Tech into the room. We've got 30 minutes with the Yellow Jackets, and we will start with head coach Brent Key offering a few words to open us, and then we'll go Q&A with the coach and our three student athletes. So, Coach, the podium is yours.
All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Come on, we need some energy in here now. Come on, it's kind of that midday right after lunch. We got to get some juice going in this room now. Happy to be back here again. Appreciate Commissioner Phillips and what he's done to put this on and put it together. It's kind of crazy. It's now the fourth time, I think, being up here. Goes fast. Goes really fast. But when I became the head coach 3 years ago, now going to my fourth year, a lot of people say, well, that must be the highlight of, what you've accomplished and what you've done, and no, it's not. My goal wasn't to be the head coach. My goal is to be the head coach of Georgia Tech and win championships. Right? That's what our goal is. Right? Our goal is to graduate players and win championships. Right? And we've done a good job of progressing each year. 6 wins, 7 wins, 9 wins. All right? But the mission is to win championships. Right? And that's not changing. Right? What's that?
It was from the back, Coach, and actually I'll ask them to be quiet. Sorry.
You want me to tell them to? Hey, shut up. But the great thing is, for myself, President Cabrera, Ron Alpert, our AD, who's now been with us for a year. All right, we share that mission. All right, and like I said, we've made good progress, but we have not been able to accomplish that mission yet to this point. And last year was a good step in the right direction, winning 9 games. But let's make no mistake, I'm not happy about that. All right. And if you don't think that's driven myself in how we've built the roster, how we've trained, prepared, worked, built the staff to put the right men in place to be around these guys, then obviously you don't know me and you don't know our program. All right, because, and again, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy for what we've accomplished. I am. All right, but I am not satisfied, not one bit. We've done a lot in terms of rebuilding our staff, our roster, to put ourselves in a position to now go out and continue to try to accomplish that mission. These guys up here are a great example of those two things, of graduating our players, being successful in school, preparing for a life after football, and working every single day to win championships. And I'm just very fortunate to be here with these guys. I think we've got something special. I really do. I believe in these players. If I could fit the whole team on the plane, we would have fit the whole team. But I don't think the ACC would allow us to do that. But that's what our goals are. That's who we are. Our identity is not changing. Faces change, names change, right? But the identity of Georgia Tech football is not going to change, right? We welcome any team to play us or us to play any team. I think we're one of 5 teams playing 11 Power 4 games this year. Our out-of-conference schedule is competitive as anybody in the country, as well as the ACC schedule that is as competitive as anyone in the league, right, in an extremely competitive league. We're super excited, and that's all I got for you.
I think we're good. Coach, so your first question will come right side, 3rd row, right towards the aisle.
Hey, Coach, Michael with PlantTheSpear.com. Yeah, just really impressed by what you have done there at Georgia Tech in your time there. But you opened the conference, or you opened the schedule with 2 really strong non-conference opponents in Colorado and Tennessee. Could you talk a little bit about kind of the mindset this summer and the players and the coaching staff to get ready for that slate?
Yeah, I mean, no different than if we opened up with anybody in the league. Our mindset and focus doesn't change. I mean, I don't have any corny slogans or sayings or anything like that to put together with the team. I'm sorry I didn't bring that with me today. But we're going to show up every day and work our tails off so we can line up and go out and play the type of football that I envision us playing. That's regardless of who the opponent is. But I think I said it last year, we line up and play anybody, anytime, right? And we're very excited about being able to play those opponents. The work has already been in play, and we're excited about them all.
Coach left side, 4th row.
Hello, Owen Hillman at the League Winners. What stands out to you the most about Alberto Mendoza's game?
I don't know. He hadn't started a college football game yet.
Is it?
I mean, he throws it. The kid's he hadn't started a college game. You think I'm going to sit here and tell you everything he does and does well and doesn't do well? Come on, we just talked about the people we open up with. He's smart, cerebral, sees the whole field, can get us in and out of good plays, bad plays. He's accurate. He's got a good release.
Coach, right side.
Mom and Dad are great people.
Right side, Coach, 2nd row, towards the wall here.
Kenton Gibbs with Locked On Podcast Network. Coach, great to see you back here again. Everybody talks about what a motivator you are and how you do your thing in talent acquisition and whatnot. And on stage with you, you have a guy that was objectively running back 1 at a team that's won a national championship in the past few years, and you got him come down.
How many they win last year?
Very true, very true. And you got him to come down to be your running back here. How'd you do it? What went into that process of getting Justice out of the portal?
He went in the portal. I think we called him. And look, no different than anybody else. I mean, it's recruiting, it's relationships. We've got 2 running backs here with us today, and I think we have 4 more back at home we couldn't fit on the plane with us. If that tells you what type of team we're going to be. And they all complement each other very well. Excited to, finally have Justice understand that Atlanta, Georgia is the greatest city on the face of the earth, and to be there. So, but I'm super excited about that entire group. And when you have a new quarterback, and look, quarterback is the most important position in all of sports, in my opinion, in all of sports. All right. Well, how do you take the pressure off of them? Right there. That's how you take the pressure off of him. Okay? Allow him to develop and grow as a quarterback. Doesn't matter how talented you are. Right? There's firsts in everything at that position. All right? And that's on us as coaches to make sure we don't put him in a position to have to win every game all year long. Right? Let him grow into that. And, very, very fortunate to be able to have these running backs with us on our team, the depth we have at that position, the unselfishness that they have. But also we have a lot of experience on our offensive staff and within the whole staff of how to play these guys, how to practice these guys, how to train them, how to prepare them so that they're just as fresh in the 4th quarter in November as they were in the 1st quarter in September.
Coach, you're going to go right side, 2nd row, please.
Thomas Christopher of the League Winners. With the ever-changing landscape of college football, there's some coaches who push against it. You've been one who's been vocally embracing of it. Can you just talk about the importance of being adaptable in that regard and how that adapts?
What else am I going to do? Seriously, what am I going to object to it? I don't want to do that. I don't have a say in it. I mean, we could walk out of here right now and be 3 different rules or, a change in something. But you have to be adaptable. Right, you have to be able to change. And people say, kids are different now. Well, so are the adults. We are too. Right? We're the ones that set the example, but the same guys that want to complain about a lot of the things in college football need to look themselves in the mirror. They're the ones jumping jobs every 2 years too. Let's be real. The adults in the room sometimes end up being the bigger problem. And I'm very transparent with my team about that. We talk very real in terms of that. Look, we're co-workers. There's no dictatorship at Georgia Tech. I'm the head coach. I'm the leader, yes. But we have to work together, and they understand that. It's about the players at Georgia Tech. Always has been and always will be as long as I'm the head football coach there.
Coach right side, 1st row.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You said it's always been about the players at Georgia Tech. One of the guys that stood up here with you last year, Haynes King, left a legacy. What does that legacy do, and how do you kind of see that domino effect into a season like this season?
Yeah, he called me last night and asked me if I was coming to Charlotte today. I'm like, yes, Haynes, you know the answer to that. Then somebody said they saw him walking down the street the other day, down by Chipotle or something. But, the very few people, when I say people, I mean players, coaches, staff, will know what we went through over the last 4 years. Kyle's one of them, right? And when these guys matriculate through our program, whether it be Haynes, whether it be Clayton Powell-Lee, whether it be Kyle, Aiden Burr, those guys, they know the true story. The only thing I ask for these guys when they walk out that door is to leave this program better than when they walked in. And that's the most proud thing I can say about those guys. Haynes, all of them.
Coach, right side, fourth row, sort of in the middle.
Tony Syracuse from Last Word on Sports. Every week we hear about programs with rosters that are 10, 15, $20 million over what the revenue sharing cap is supposed to be. How difficult is it to compete at a place like Georgia Tech in that kind of environment?
What do you mean by that, compete at a place like Georgia Tech?
Well, a place that emphasizes academics, that emphasizes athletics, that is...
I think we've been pretty good at both. I mean,
No,
personally, I'm not arguing.
giving
I'm
you
just saying
credit for that.
personally, Georgia Tech is, in my opinion, the greatest place in the entire country to get the combination of both. All right, and you got to find the right fit, you know, to answer your question. You got to have people in your program that understand that football is going to come to an end. All right, there's a life after football, not life when you graduate, because I want every one of these guys to play in the NFL for a long time, to reach all their dreams. But you got to get the right fit, the right person, and that's a culture that was established in our locker room 3.5 years ago, that they'll tell us. Now, that doesn't mean everything's rosy the day everybody walks in the door. I mean, the roster turns over 35% every January on every team. So to find the right fit to come into your locker room, and I know every coach comes up here and probably talks about the fit. Well, the fit's unique to each individual program in school, right? It's unique to where you are. Like, there's kids that don't want to go to college in a major city. Guess what? We're not moving the school. So, like, that's not a fit, okay? But the ones that understand that there's a life after football, that want to be developed and coached hard, right, held accountable, high expectations on the field and in the classroom, right, and then be able to build the relationships that it takes to have a successful life afterwards. I don't say it lightly when I say I want guys to come to Georgia Tech to be a first-round pick and a CEO. I say that, and I mean that. One of the coolest pictures I saw last year was a picture of Keelan Rutledge walking across a stage one week, and a couple weeks later walking across another stage. Obviously, he was at his home. He didn't walk across when he got drafted in the first round, but it's figurative. So, but a first-round pick and a college graduate from Georgia Tech who's going to have success, and that's what I want for all of our guys.
Coach, thank you. You and Kyle can switch spots. We'll now spend time with our student athletes.
Next up, Kyle Leifert.
It's pretty good. If you would, folks, please identify yourselves and the media outlets that you're with. That would be fantastic. And you will take your first question, Kyle, left side, about the fourth row.
Hello, Owen Hillman at the League Winners. You mentioned last season that you wanted to become a more vocal leader. How has your perspective on being a leader changed from last season?
Oh man, it's changed a lot. I mean, I'm at that point now where I'm in my retro senior year, man, my 5th year. Yeah, pretty much. Been here for like 10 years now, man. So it's at a point where like I have no other option but to be a vocal leader and to, you know, lead my team by example, but also if I need to speak up, I'll speak up.
Kyle, right side, second row here at the wall.
Davis of Locked On Georgia Tech. Kyle, man, with Jason Seymour coming to the fold with his new system, attack-style defense, how do you feel you're going to be able to benefit on the field from him coming in and changing things up?
Yes, sir. So Coach Seymour is not only the best coordinator in the country, but he's the best linebackers coach in the country. And his defense is made for linebackers to run the show, be the quarterbacks, get us in and out of defenses. And that's what I'm willing to do for the defense, for the best of the team. And Coach Seymour, he definitely has an innovative defense. His major thing is, you know, offenses are not the same from the 1990s. Like, why are the defenses the same? So like that's his major point, and I can see how it's gonna be great.
Kyle, right side, first row.
Kyle, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. I believe you and Ricardo Winbush are the only Georgia Tech players in the 21st century to lead the team in tackles in 3 straight seasons. What has brought that level of consistency to your game?
Man, just effort to the football. I mean, it ain't nothing but seeing the ball, running the ball every single play. I mean, you know, it's one thing you know what you're doing, but it's another thing when you just empty the tank on every single play, and that's all I've been doing, and the results show.
Right side, second row.
Kenton Gibbs with the Locked On Podcast Network. you all, your defense improved as the year went on, but looking back at the autopsy of last year's season, it was the third worst rushing defense in the league. What do you all take away from that and say we need to grow in this way, be it gap responsibility or effort to the ball or whatever the case may be? What is it in particular that you look at and say, this is where we need to be better to improve that number?
Oh, man, I mean, across the board. I mean, from the first level, second level, third level, I mean, there's always place to develop. So, and I mean, I feel like from, our big guys getting vertical, cutting the ball off, to taking double teams, I mean, to the backers, filling gaps, going sideline to sideline, all the way to the back end, communicating, getting down. I mean, there's room for development everywhere, and there's not one specific area, but I feel like we need to develop across the board.
Kyle, from the podium, your brother is an international professional soccer player. Granted, the term football is different from each of you guys, but what have you learned from him about the way you play your football?
Yeah, I mean, my brother taught me what it takes to, to be a pro. Like, I mean, growing up from as far as I can remember, he showed me my work ethic. I mean, I was probably in like second, third grade, and he's getting me up 5 o'clock in the morning to go outside and work out with him. So, I mean, him and my father essentially, made me who I am, showed me what it takes to play at a high level.
Other questions for Kyle in the room? Kyle will go with the gentleman in the hat in the back, go straight up the aisle and to the right.
Hi, Kyle. Scott Morgan on South Florida Tribune. First of all, the one thing I know that the ACC prepares you from a competitive standpoint to obviously be as good as you can be. But that last game of the year, I believe you play the University of Georgia, right? So you kind of like get up for this in-state rival. What are your thoughts about playing the University of Georgia? And I know last year, if I understand correctly, I think you played in the Mercedes place, right? Mercedes. How do you like playing it there versus the on-campus? Because let's face it, Georgia always competes for national championships. And
We're about to also.
Yeah, well, that's all right, good. I wish I would have had a chance to talk to you about it, but thanks for speaking up. At least I can hear you anyways. Great, Coach, thank you. But what are your thoughts about being able to play the University of Georgia at the very end of the year after you had a rigorous ACC schedule? Thanks, Coach, appreciate it.
I mean, we Georgia Tech guys, Georgia Tech men, man. It doesn't matter to us. Like Bobby Dodd, In Between the Hedges, Piedmont Park, bro. It don't matter. Like we're just some group of guys wired like that, man. We don't like that school down the road. We want to get them boys, and I'm sure we will.
Kyle, appreciate your time. You and Justice can switch spots, and we'll spend a little bit of time with Mr. Haynes. Folks, again, if you would, please identify yourselves. That would be fantastic. And Justice, your first question will be fourth row, almost towards the wall here on the right.
Katrina Sackins, Sports and Culture Media. Justice, how are you?
Doing well. How about you?
Good. Returning to not only your home state, but just about an hour away from your hometown, correct? The coach said, hey, our goal is to win championships here, and he said he also wants you guys to leave this program feeling better than when you guys had walked in. Your role in that, what is it?
That was one of the reasons why I came back to college. And just when I was Coach Key, I was blessed enough with the opportunity to come to Georgia Tech. That was one of the reasons why I came. To leave a legacy bigger than myself, to leave a legacy and leave this place better than I found it. And each and every day, I know that when I put in the work and the grind and all that, that's what I'm doing it for. It's for my brothers to the left and right of me and for the guys that's going to come after me.
Justice, we're going to go left side, fourth row, towards the back in the middle there.
Owen Hillman at the league winners. Your father was a professional running back as well. How has your father been an influence in how you approach being both a football player and as a professional?
My father's been everything in my football journey, from the discipline that he's instilled in me at a young age, the work ethic that he's taught me. He's done a lot for me, and just being there by my side through it all, being my number one fan, teaching me the game. But my dad has always been my number one fan. No matter what, he's been my ride or die. He continues to keep doing that, and he bleeds whatever school I bleed. So I'm forever thankful for my dad and my whole family, really, to be honest, because they my ride or dies, and they always with me no matter what.
Justice, right side, first row.
Justice, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You went from Alabama to Michigan, now back to your home state of Georgia at Georgia Tech. What have been some of the lessons that you've learned along this journey that you feel like are going to bring about the best season that you've had up to this point?
Just through I'm forever thankful for all my stops, starting at Bama, going to Michigan, now blessed with the opportunity to be here at Georgia Tech. And with all those stops, the biggest thing that I've learned is just stay consistent, stay true to who you are, and just put in the work, just come down and just put your head down and work hard each and every day. Control what you can control, and that's how you show up each and every day, and leave the rest up to God, and He'll work everything else out.
Still on the right side, second row.
Kenton Gibbs, Locked On Podcast Network. In terms of who you are as a back, a lot of people, when you were coming out of Bama, saw you as a power back, and then at Michigan, you were one of the nation's leaders in yards per carry. What is it that you bring to a backfield that allows you to blend that contact balance and power with the breakaway speed and all that good stuff that allows you to end up as a statistical leader in those ways?
Yeah, I pride myself on just being explosive, being a complete playmaker in all aspects of the game, being an efficient runner, being an efficient player with the ball in my hands, whether that's catching the ball out of the backfield, whether that's pass blocking, or whether that's running touchdowns. Whatever it is, whatever my team needs me to do to win, I'm going to do to help my team win. And just being efficient and being minute and with my small details, which helps my game.
Justice, his gentleman right to his right there in the second row.
Justice, as you come to what you could argue as running back you, how do you and Malachi Holsey complement each other?
I think we complement each other well. Malachi, each and every day, we talk about it all the time. We call each other the bad boys. We call each other that because each and every time we step on that field, we the baddest dudes out there, and we gotta go. We gotta go out there and just ball. And we look at it as an approach as iron sharpens iron. And we're here representing the team and representing the running back room, but we got, like Coach Key alluded to earlier, we got 4 other dudes out there that can go and that can make plays and do things and do great things as well. And, in our running back room, Coach Smith does a great job. We talk about not being good to great in everything we do, not just on the field, but off the field as well. And when you look at Georgia Tech running backs, you see the best unit in the country, period, end of story. And that's our standard, and that's what we hold each other to each and every day.
Justice, thank you. Why don't you switch seats with the other bad dude, and we will spend time with Malachi for a few minutes. Folks, again, we'll get to as many as we can, and Malachi will start first row right side.
Malachi, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Every running back on the roster at Georgia Tech is from the state of Georgia. What that means for you all to represent the state of Georgia and just what it's like to be in that room knowing that it's homegrown talent.
I mean, it means a lot, especially for me. Just being from Georgia, playing for my home state is good. And I personally didn't want to go to the other school in Georgia. So it's just a blessing that I got to go to Tech. And I feel like most of us backs in our backfield feel the same way.
Malachi, right side, second row, almost towards the wall.
Kenton Gibbs, Locked On Podcast Network. Malachi, you all were one of the most explosive backfields in America last year, and it's expected to be more of the same with Justice Haynes coming in and you, of course, upping your yards per carry from going to Penn from Georgia Tech. What is it about you all's running game that's so unique that it's like there's only one ball, but all of you all seem to make plays whenever inserted in?
I think we're very similar and different in the same way, as in, like, with me and Justice, we can literally see the same thing on a play, that we might hit the same hole and do the same thing. So I think our vision.
Malachi, from the podium, you've scored 50 high school touchdowns. You've scored 23 collegiate touchdowns. Do you expect to hit the end zone every time you touch the ball?
I kind of do. At this point, yeah, I do. It's like an expectation.
Other questions for Malachi? We'll go right side, almost to the wall here on the second row.
Jarvis Davis of Locked On Georgia Tech. Malachi, you talk about the talent that you all have in the running back room with Justice and yourself. Like, how important is it if you having several different starters coming on the offensive line, how important is it for those guys to be in sync so you all can put that talent on display?
It's very important, especially with us having depth as well. Like Coach Key always preaches, we want to play our best ball in November, December, January when we're trying to compete for a championship. So just us building depth with through the portal and getting guys, it's been great.
Malachi, last question from the podium. Who do you get your smile from? Mom, dad, somebody else? Where does that come from?
I think mom or granddad.
Can you show us one more time?
What, the smile?
Folks, that's Georgia Tech. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you out on the road. Clemson up next, and that will happen at 3 o'clock. We'll see you back then.